I finished my Saturday workout. It's like 3:39, almost 4 a.m. But I did it. Today's an active recovery day. If my sister's down, we're going to go on a hike. But if not, I got my exercise in already. We are good. I talked to that guy again briefly, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to continue on. Probably just, I think, whatever bonding happened in that first conversation, that was meant to affect us each in whatever way it did. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's supposed to continue or it's supposed to be a thing. Sometimes you meet people, strangers passing in the night, and that's all it is, you know? But it was good to talk to him and feel comfortable having a conversation with one of these guys that actually did motivate me and affect me and get me thinking and stimulate me, because none of the other conversations I've had with these people have stimulated me mentally or emotionally. It kind of reminds me of when I went back in Georgia, when I was first thinking about moving back to Maryland and how it felt like a sticky trap. I had to cover a shift at another store, and it was right when I was first trying to get back out there the first time, but I was not trying to really put effort into meeting up with anybody. And I covered a shift at an old store that I'd worked at previously, and it was a really terrible place. I did not have good experiences there, but I went back and nobody was the same. None of the same people were there. None of the things were in the same places. The energy was just different. It had been redesigned. It was cleaner. It was a better version of that place. And that helped me reconcile my feelings about moving back to Maryland. And while I was there was this one guy that came through the drive-thru that had that spark, that what I call divine essence, that feeling, that like when you make physical contact, it vibrates through you. It's warmth, it's power, it's energy, and it's not like what I feel from normal people. It's something different, and I've come to recognize that feeling, regardless of what it might actually be. It indicates to me that that person is important in some way. There's something I'm supposed to learn from them. There's something that they're supposed to do that will affect me somehow, create a change. And that guy in Georgia at that random store that I had to go visit, it gave me hope in that moment that I would be able to find another person out there that I could connect to energetically like that. It revitalized the idea that there are multiple people, not just one, out there that you are compatible with and that you could have that kind of chemistry with. Unspoken telepathic bonds. Other people that can feel you just like you feel them. And that moment, that guy, wasn't supposed to be a lasting thing. It was just a guy getting coffee and having a connection with somebody just for a moment. And I think that's what this was too. Somebody just stopping through my life, having a talk that actually meant something. Even though, should I say that? There were some red flags that lead me to feel like I should go a different direction. That conversation was changing, inspiring. And honestly, I worked harder today on my workouts than I have in a while. It wasn't just something about the complacency of the workout, you know, like you're just getting through it versus feeling like, yeah, like let's fucking go. Today I felt let's fucking go about my workouts. Not just like, got 2 workouts, you know what I mean? And I think somehow that conversation inspired that, with Temperance and the Ace of Cups. And regardless, Ace of Wands too. Ace of Cups, Temperance, Ace of Wands. And I think there's something to be said for me being willing to step outside of my comfort zone and meet up with him. Even before, before the red flags were really present. I was willing, which was a step in the right direction. It was unlike every other conversation I've had where it was like, absolutely not. I'll have a good conversation. Not even a good conversation, but I will have a conversation. I will practice the small talk. It doesn't mean we're doing anything. But out of this entire experience with the apps, that's one person that handled my boundaries okay, even though they weren't jiving with it. They weren't willing to tolerate my boundaries. They were at least like, okay, I understand. And they went their own way. And this guy, I don't know. I just think we have different priorities. We are very similar, and we have a lot of the same goals. But I think what we want is different. And that's okay. It's okay for it to just be a good conversation. So, Spirit, what do we have coming up next? Wheel of Fortune. Fair enough. The Knight of Pentacles. Our slow and stable offer. Page of Cups. Small offer. The World. Travel or cycle completion. Oh, closing out a heartbreak. The Magician. A destined event. Slow moving, stable progress that always makes it to the finish line. Following our intuition through these cycle completions towards our manifestations. And our Queen of Wands energy. We've got the Devil. The Hermit. There could be something here about seeing red flags and stepping away. Because I think a lot of us have a tendency to see something that we know we should be concerned about, and we're just like, it's fine. And I feel like maybe I was doing that a little bit at first. But then, you hit a certain number of red flags, and it's like, maybe I'm better off just doing my own thing for a while. But we're not letting this get us down. Nephilim. Lined up with the Page of Cups. Intuitively, we know going into those situations that there is either a lesson to learn, or there is a lesson to teach, or there is something that will affect the way that we behave and push us in the right direction. I had to prove that I was willing to step outside of my comfort zone. And I had to really be authentic in that conversation. I had to really tell him exactly who I am and own it. And not feel like I was getting judged, not caring if I did get judged. The Serpent and the Twin Hollies. Past life connections and healing. We are healing wounds from the past here. Either a past life or just what's happened to us relatively in the recent past. And finding balance between our sexual energy and our romantic energy, our emotional energy. Taking it one step at a time and being more generous. Surveying our options and choosing the best path for us. Going forward in our passionate new beginning. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay positive.